Yeah. Kindly be informed that we are also streaming live on the Radio Chengala Facebook page and our YouTube channel. The headlines. Mose Dows's Bishop Hamungole dies. Lack of a bridge to connect Kitwez Mlenga and Ndeke overspill has angered residents. UPND Chifubu constituency aspiring candidate differ with Patriotic Front General Secretary Davis Mwila. Here are the details. The church is mourning Bishop Hamungole of Mose Diocese, who died on Wednesday evening in Lusaka. Bishop Hamungole tested positive to COVID-19 2 weeks ago and was admitted to Levi Mwanawasa Hospital in Lusaka. Bishop Hamungole announced to his Catholic faithfuls that he tested positive to COVID-19 and was undergoing treatment. Born on 1st May 1967 in Kafue, he attended Mukasa Minor Seminary. After his primary and secondary school, he went to St. Augustine Philosophical Seminary and later to the Theological Seminary of St. Dominic's in Lusaka. Since his ordination, he served in several roles. He also served as director of Radio Asani and served in the communications office of the Archdiocese of Lusaka. Between 2002 and 2008, he served as a secretary of the communication of the Association of Member Episcopal Conferences in Eastern Africa and Zambia, AMSEA. AMSEA comprises Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Malawi, South Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, Djibouti, Zambia, and Somalia. It is a Catholic service organization for the National Episcopal Conferences of the 8 countries of Eastern Africa. Before his appointment as bishop, he was director of the Vatican Radio, in charge of English and Swahili programs from 2010. May God grant him eternal rest. Lack of a bridge to connect Kitwez Mlenga and Ndeke overspill has angered residents who are having difficulties when crossing to the other side, to the other townships rather. A Kabar Radio Chingali News found people crossing on a plank that has been put on Matemati stream by some youths, and the youths have taken advantage of the lack of the bridge to charge people 15 ngwe and 1 kwacha respectively when crossing on the plank. The residents now want a new bridge like the one constructed at Weka Bridge, which is also on Matemati stream.
So this is very challenging, and in that presence when it's raining, the whole place is becoming like a stream.
And Kamfinsa aspiring candidate Dixon Ngandwe says crossing on the plank is a risk. Mr. Ngandwe said there was need for a permanent bridge to be constructed. He spoke to Radio Chingali News in a separate interview.
Ero nga twaranda tinakumisaka bikulianako akatorera ndana omulalo wali usenda kumisaka bi kata kwa myema kulia emilalo shali apeshi lifwa kwanga pamonga nengandwe ngane ole ibina nga wempi inkwata amapanga yakwe bwa tukapanga emilalo eshakosa shakwe batashakula sendwa nemfula tatulifwa tule bombera pa kintu kimo chini kona ulo pia yokulata frustrate na abantu.
The bridge, which was constructed by RDA, was swept away in the last rain season. Moving on, the ongoing construction of a police post in Upalo ward of Chingola East has reached a roof level. According to the area councillor Nelias Mumba, the police post will curtail crime once complete. Councillor Mumba said this in an interview with Radio Chingola News in Chingola.
Community member because wali bebira sana, so we said let's make a group and see what we got to contribution here. We are going to material, to my blogs, to my finances, but I can safely say that wali okenda budugunusa, and they've contributed. Right now, we are almost to our roof level. So it's just that, my finances, yali shupako. Twalita kuna apply ku CDF kwa watu Afrika kupuisha, but CDF na tayari enough. So we're hoping that you still start contributing until to push the police post so that German lives ever don't what they go safe.
UPND Chifugo constituency aspiring parliamentary candidate Lloyd Lubosha says aspiring candidates need time to sell themselves to the people. And Mr. Lubosha has said there is need to also evaluate the performance of current members of parliament as they were given 4.5 years to perform to the expectations of the people. Mr. Lubosha says he disagrees with the Secretary General for the Patriotic Front Party, Davis Mwila's statement that aspiring candidates should desist from criticizing the incumbents. The Professional Teachers Union of Zambia, Protus, has maintained that the schools are not safe in view of the second wave of COVID-19. Schools are scheduled to reopen on 18th January 2021, but Brian Mwila, who is Protus Director for Public Relations and International Affairs, says schools are not safe for mass gatherings as the second wave of COVID-19 being experienced in the country at present is proving dangerous. Mr. Mwila has since called on the Ministry of Health to urgently guide the general public on this subject matter before January 18. But the Ministry of Education has said the reopening of schools will go on despite COVID-19. The ministry has since asked the schools to follow all the measures to prevent COVID-19. Community news comes to you in the community service of Radio Chengelo with compliments of Indo-Zambia Bank and the National Institute of Public Administration, NIPA. Lufwanyama Town Council Chairperson Moses Chuka says a contractor named Choice Build will begin working on the dilapidated 110 kilometers stretch Lumpuma Mkutuma Road after the rain season. The poor state of the road has remained a major source of concern to the local people who use it to transport farm produce to Kalulushi. Speaking to Radio Chingling News via telephone, Mr. Chuka says Lumpuma Mkutuma is one of the 2 roads earmarked for construction in the district. He explained that the contractor was expected to begin works in June last year, but delayed and only came on site in December.
And the state of the road. So the contractor is supposed to mobilize on the 4th of June 2020. Now what happened is that the fixing process in fact was delayed, that the contractor has no money. So they mobilized very late, that is the almost coming into January. So when they started waiting, it's already rainy season. And the road is not yet good. They said, no, I think it is difficult for the people to be passing in the rain season. So better to wait until after the rain season. That's why you start. That's very right. That's why the road is here for rehabilitation. That is the 110 kilometers.
On that note, we end this morning's community news on Radio Chengelo. But before we go, the headlines again. Mose Dow's Bishop Moses Hamungole has died. Lack of a bridge to connect Kitwe's Mulenga and Ndeke Overspill angers the residents. UPND Chifugo constituency aspiring parliamentary candidate differ with Patriotic Front General Secretary Davis Mwila. For these and more stories, feel free to visit our Facebook page and log on to Facebook and like the Radio Chingelo page and link to Radio Chingelo at radio12345.com. You can as well listen to Radio Chingelo worldwide on Radio Garden. Remember, COVID-19 is real, therefore wear a mask when in public, avoid large groups and maintain social distance, avoid unnecessary movements, wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds, cover your cough or sneeze with a flexed elbow, handkerchief, or tissue. Well then, thank you so very much. We have Ilya Shimshimba coming your way at 10 hours. So remember always to mask up.